Hello and welcome to this video about how to load lead lists. A lead list is a list of phone numbers that we load into IPscape, and then our dialer will dial the numbers and then distribute them to agents who are available. So here we have an example of a very simple lead list. Basically, it needs to be saved in CSV format, and I've just got a few columns here. So I've got first name, last name, address, state, and phone number. So you can get this information from various places. This could be from one of your internal systems like a CRM, or you could have bought the list from a third-party supplier. Either way, wherever you got the list from, you need to save this as a CSV format, and then you can upload it into IPscape. So I'm just going to save that. So to save in CSV, this is just Excel, and we can go to Save As, and I'm going to choose the comma delimited type CSV comma delimited and go to Save. I've already got a file called that, but I'm just going to go OK. To load our list, we need to go into the workspace, then go to the campaigns area, and then to leads. From here, we now need to select the campaign that we would like to load our leads into. So we get a full list of our campaigns, and I'm just going to choose outbound campaign. And that will then show us the leads that are already loaded. These leads have already been loaded from a previous list. And we've got various options across the top here. So this one is to search leads, so we can manage our leads from here as well. We can import leads, which is the one that we want. And we can also manage lead lists, delete lead lists from this option, and we can filter the lead lists. So there'll be more of that in other videos, but this one is about importing leads, so we can go to here. And we're given our options for uploading the list. So I can add a name for the list. This is what we'll call it inside IPscape. So I'm going to say new purchased leads. And if we've added lists before, we'll see the names of those lists here. So we've got a drop down. I've got a CRM lead list, which I loaded previously. But I'm going to use a new purchased leads list, and then we can choose the file that we want to upload. And that's the one I showed you earlier, and that was called testdata2. So I'm going to go to open, and we want to use the first row, which contains headers. So each column has a title, and we want to use that to map to fields within IPscape. This one is a bit of an obscure one. We don't really need to tick that one at the moment. And so if we go to next, we then are able to map the fields. So various different things we can do here. So we can scroll down, and all of this is explained in the help files by using the question mark. I'm just going to show you the bare minimum that you need to put in. So we're going to go to field mappings, which is very useful, and we can go to here. We can see ID. There was a field called ID in my spreadsheet, and I'm going to map that to customer key. Just good practice to do that. And then I'm going to move on to first name, and I will choose first name and map that to first name. Then surname, I'm going to map to last name. And then I haven't actually got address fields or state fields in that list. So if I wanted to add those, I could go to add data fields, and we have a video on how to do that if you want to do that, but it's not really that important to me. So I'm just going to skip over those and go to map phone, which is important, to phone 1. I can then go down to here, and I can save a template, so the next time I get new leads, I don't have to do this all again. So I'm going to just do that, and we're just going to call that new leads template. So I'm going to run through this again and show you how much time you can save using a template, but for the time being we'll just leave it at that. And what I'm going to do now is, having mapped all of those fields, I'm going to go to validate leads. So what we've got here is it's telling me that some of these leads are not great, so that number is not a valid number. So that's fine, we can ignore that, and I'm just going to go to import leads, and what it's going to say is number of valid leads. It validates them. There's 3 and then there's an invalid one, so we'll get the option to import the invalid ones if we want, but by default that's not ticked. Okay, so that's now imported all of those leads, those 3 leads, into our campaign. And I can go and manage the campaign now. So I now need to associate that list with the campaign and also start the campaign so that people start to get calls based on this list. So I've got this manage campaign option, and I'll do that. So I can go to that, I go and find the campaign, so you can see that's still not started. If I go to outbound, and then I need to go to edit and add my list down at the bottom. So if we go right the way down to the bottom, I can go to add new list. We've now got new purchased leads, and add. Then update. And we can see that is now there, and I can start my campaign. And that's all good. So that's adding leads to the campaign. What I'm going to do is go back and show you, now that we've got the list types that we normally have added, and a template as well on how to add new lists, how quick it is now that that's all set up. So I'm going to go back to my home page, go to leads, and you can see those leads that we added previously are now listed there. I can go to outbound. It's remembered the campaign that I was on because I've been there before. But we can then go to import leads, and I can choose the file that I want to. I can choose the name. So I've got new or purchase leads. So I can go purchase leads. We've just added that. Say we've bought some more. I can then go to here, and I'm going to go to test data. So it's the same, it's in the same format, but it's just got different data in. So I can go to first row contains headers, that's fine, then go to next. I can then say I want to use a template, which means I don't have to map everything. So I can go to the new leads template, and you can see that it's mapped everything beautifully across there. So I don't need to do that again. And then I go to validate leads. Again, it's saying that there's a bad one in there, that's fine. I can go to import leads. I can update existing leads by, so I get quite a few different options here. So I can update existing leads by customer key. So if the customers have the same ID number, I can update the ones that have the same thing, or I can ignore that and just import them as new leads. So I can go to next. And then that is actually everything done. We've just we've added those people. We don't need to manage the campaign. We're done at that point. So those have now been added onto our list, and onto our campaign. And we can see that if we go to manage imported leads, we'll see that we've got our leads added onto the top here. So each one of those, it was the new purchase leads, we've just added those in.